Hi, Channel 1. This is Jim Gillis with Win My Vote, and sorry about that glare in the back of the window there. But would love to talk with you about using our site as a poll. I know that the traditional polling has taken big hits over the last couple of years, actually the last like 5 or 10 years. And, case in point, I was really active with polls, and then I got put onto all these lists, and now I just turn we have a separate line that it comes in. I just turn it off, don't answer any of them anymore, simply because I just got overwhelmed with them. So this, I think, is kind of the online poll of the future, which is, these are things that I'm doing anyway. I'm reviewing candidates. I'm favoriting the ones that I want in specific races, as well as propositions and measures. And I'll show you that, real quick on how that works. So the best one to show you, I guess I can do it. So this is last year's presidential election, and for state propositions, for example, Proposition 55. As a voter, I love this. I can look at it, I can read the actual language, of the proposition. This was a little 1-minute video. We partnered with a company down in Los Angeles.
Prop 55 in 1 minute, taxes for education. 4 years ago, a tax on the wealthy was passed.
And I can see a nice little explainer video there. They all start as neutral. And then I can also see groups and organizations and individuals that are supporting it or opposing it. And this is where you guys can create a group and you can support it or endorse it or whatever, however you guys do that type of stuff. This is a way for me. So for example, Ethan Behrman, he is a radio talk show host here in San Francisco. I follow him. I see him and I think, great, I want to hear what this guy has to say.
When does temporary mean temporary? Well, it doesn't here in California when it comes to money and taxes.
And I can also, just click through to his YouTube channel.
You need a website. Why not do
see that? And again, he can have a group page, which I'll show you. So if I want, I can just click on Ethan Behrman here. He has a group page with all of his information. I can go to his Facebook page or his Twitter account. And I'm sort of in a hybrid mode, so that's why you're seeing those edits. But I can, use any of these buttons to, contact him as well. And we're actually adding a button here that will say website that will just go straight through to his website. So there's lots of different ways, for you guys to use this as a sort of like a social media type of page. The other way to use it is by sort of using it as your voter guide. So again, I'm kind of in a hybrid, so the voter wouldn't see this, but I'm the administrator of this page right now. So you'll see, make endorsements. And this is where there's some featured candidates here, but let's say if you wanted to, make endorsements and you wanted to endorse, Eric Garcetti. You would go down to California, start typing in the candidate, click on Eric Garcetti, click on his star, which says I want to endorse him, and then it says, do you want to do a written or a video? And you can do that. You can just do a cut and paste in here, or you can write it in here. You can add links and images and embed videos. And again, you can have anything you want in there. You can go right back to your page, direct users there, whatever you want. You can also put a YouTube share URL in here. And if you do that, then it will display a video, and I'll show you what that looks like. So here's Hillary Clinton's candidate profile, and you can see the featured endorsements here. And if I want, I can just click on that and watch the video.
For more than a year now, across thousands of miles in all 50 states, tens of millions of Americans have made their voices heard. Today, I just want to add mine. I want to.
And you can also see on this ballot the ongoing percentages that this candidate has, and these are real. This ballot's real, and yes, believe it or not, those percentages are real, which means that we have, I guess, a very left user base. But we have the real numbers behind that, so I'd be happy to share with you whether you would like to have all of those numbers, or if you wanted to send out specific invites with a specific time frame or something like that, and then we can tell you, okay, out of our user base, these people right here came in through your email. So if you want, you can just measure those 1,000. The other nice thing about the poll is that you have this information here which they're filling out just to be complete. They're not, they don't have to fill it out if they don't want to. But this type of information, decade born, whether they're, male, female, or other, and then, the party preference down here. But we can talk about whether that falls into the area that the information that you guys need to, to run a poll. I think one of the other nice things about this is it can be an ongoing poll. So for example, in Los Angeles, there's not only this race on March 7th, but on April 4th, there's a primary for the House of Representatives District 34, and then, a sort of a general that will have, I guess it'll either be a runoff or top two or something like that. But again, as a voter in LA, I can see all these as well as going even to June 5th and seeing, what's going on here in the governor's race and the lieutenant governor's race, and down. And we haven't really filled out some of the candidates there, but that's easy enough to do and easy enough to get a feel for some early stuff. So we'd love to talk with you, about all of this stuff. Let me know when a good time is, and we can kind of brainstorm a little bit. And like I said, we have lots of features on the drawing board right now that we're gonna, be deciding how much of a benefit they would be to people. We're planning on doing a lot of stuff in groups when it comes to, sort of like polling, but they're like internal ballots. And then one last thing, I know this is running long. But we did do the National Student Parent Mock Election this year, and we had over a couple 100,000 online users, and then the total number was up towards 500,000. As far as some of them used our ballot and printed it out and just did it by hand, and then a couple of others used a different ballot. But we learned a lot about the vote counts on a day-by-day basis and a state-by-state basis. This ended up being the result, but I would love to share with you, some of those things that we learned about how news can affect, people's favorites. A news story would come out, and we would actually see a little bit of a change with people that were changing their favorites and stuff. Anyway, thanks, and again, would love to talk with you and think up some ideas of how we can work together. It's totally free. It's free to voters as well as free to you guys, which would be a group in this situation. And then just so that you know the business model is that the candidates pay $100 per election. So they sign up, and that has a lot to do with just the certification of who that candidate is to make sure they're who they say they are. So they have to, enter in, and they have to purchase something, and that has to go through their campaign, which makes it easy to certify that that candidate is who they say they are. And with the number of candidates and our cost, the business model works out perfectly. So again, it's kind of free and always will be free to voters as well as groups. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.